the new Parkway Theater, where good food, diverse entertainment, and community create a place for everyone. For showtimes and special events, check out www.thenewparkway.com. You are listening to High Score 510, where real talk is our vernacular.
In other news, Joey Chestnut set a world record this weekend by eating 21 pounds of shrimp. What do you guys think about that?
The hell you playing videos about food Steve?
I just want to know, how would your butthole feel after eating 21 pounds of scrimps?
Fuck butthole, I'll probably be itching and breaking out everywhere. Who the hell eat 21 pounds of shrimp?
They just irreparably damaged a seabed for that competition. For a competition that's being announced by a dude wearing one of them old Carnival carny hats.
These things are like the traveling circus, dude.
Oh, I feel kind of, I feel a little bit bad even having watched just the edit and clips of this. So let's just keep moving on. Darius is here.
This fool been sitting here wasting time with Darius.
Nah, that's all Jared does. That's what he does. He's a human time suck. He gives time fellatio.
Gave Father Time a Father's Day hand job. Shit. All right, y'all ready to start the show?
But Jerry, I've been sitting here, been ready.
I'm leaving, nigga.
Exactly. Exactly.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the High Score 510 podcast. You can catch us at High Score 510. This subscribe to the YouTube and on the Twitter at Horcrux Hipster. Also, check out our TikTok and Patreon page. And we are here with...
This is AG3 coming at you faster than a defensive lineman lined up against Patrick Mahomes' tackles.
Nobody punking nobody here.
Well, here's a soundbite, AG3. You ever heard of Glock dookies?
Oh, man, the crazy shit in jail now, they making Glock dookies. What? A Glock dookie. Take a water bottle, and then you just fill it up with piss, shit, sperm, with any kind of fucking body fluid you can, and you just let it sit, and you just let it chill in your room and shit. Anytime you got some beef, you pull it out, and you just spray a motherfucker with that shit. It's so many videos you could just watch of motherfuckers fighting with the Glock dookies. And they say this shit is crazy. It'll clear the whole flow once that shit gets sprayed.
Oh, dude.
So somebody spray you in the face. You ain't fighting no more. They just spraying Glock dookies at each other.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, imagine somebody hit you with the Glock dookie, man. Your whole week fucked up. And the Glock dookie worse than the real good. I'd rather let a nigga shoot me than hit me with the Glock dookie.
Same, please.
Surprised you have video of the Glock dookies, yeah?
We can look it up, but I was afraid.
No, it's fine. I'm all right.
No, thank you. Hey, so they have also been doing this for a long time. Everybody pissed shit in a bucket. When the guards came out during the riots, they drop a bucket of shit on them.
Called Jenkin bullets.
So, yeah, this ain't really nothing new. They just doing it against each other now.
Yeah, my son been making Glock dookies ever since he was 2.
And we are here with...
Hey, just Captain P Funk this week. I guess it's season to be cheerful, but I don't feel it this year. I guess it's not cold enough.
Maybe you need to get back in the church, Pedro. Here's
Maybe you need to move away from Arizona, Pedro. It will never be cold enough.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let everything you're doing too much. That has breath. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Rashida, you doing too much. This is too much. This is too much what you're doing. So slow down, get on the beat, do what you're supposed to do. This is praise and worship. No. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I don't mind. I don't care that it's live. I don't care that it's live. I don't care that it's live. No. I don't care that this is live. No. I don't care that this is live. I don't care that this is live. No. Because I didn't forgive you for.
It says you watched the whole video on YouTube. What's the whole video?
Hey, so y'all still mad at me about what I said last week about black women?
Jesus.
Lying or something.
Sometimes you got to get your ass whooped in the name of Jesus.
Praise like Jesus.
That you're doing too much on stage.
Come back soon, like they told me they was coming back in the 80s.
And we are here with.
Nah, you're not gonna repurpose me into no weak ass soundbite.
I gotta go on for you, Darius.
Trust me, he ain't gonna play the Dr. Umar Johnson for you. He gonna play that for him. Must be a decent Umar Johnson.
I don't know if there's ever a decent Umar Johnson, but
it was. Last week was decent. This
nigga gonna play something David Blunt's for me. I'm not in it. I'm not with it.
It might be something worse than David Blunt's.
There's nothing worse than David Blunt's.
Darius has been sending David Blunt's content for all week.
You have been saying a lot of
There's literally nothing worse than David Blunt's in this world.
Do you think he really? I mean, Darius, introduce yourself so we can see. I got faith that Jared might be able to expand his region for you.
All right. What's up, y'all? What's up, Darius, aka the real podcast owner, aka smoking out with your mama. And I guarantee the soundbite I'm about to get right now, David Blunt's.
Correct on all accounts, Darius.
Oh my God.
Here's your soundbite.
Yes, you're right, Darius. I'm sorry.
If you had to guess, if I had to guess, like really, wholeheartedly guess, I'd say I'm probably like 200 pounds.
He had to know he not no damn 200 pounds.
That nigga know he ain't 200. Come on, bro.
That's not what he thought he meant. How much weight did he gain today?
How much weight did he eat today? How much weight you think you eat this Thanksgiving? I'm probably about 200 pounds of food.
Pretty sure his sweatsuit weighs about $150.
That's a lot of velour fabric.
It's a lot of velour. Okay. A lot of elastic material and velour. That's about 150 pounds.
And my name is Jared, aka DJ Art, with 2 T's for a double dose at Tink Tink. The D is silent, so it's just Jart. And Dr. Umar, spit knowledge.
R. Kelly is in jail because he didn't want to sell his masters to a certain music company. If he's wrong, he should do the time. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying he's only there because he broke the rules. Bill Cosby went to jail, not for molesting white women, but him and his wife didn't want to let the second largest oil company in the world drill under their home for oil. These people are not going to jail for sex crimes. They're going to jail for standing their ground. Puffy might be guilty, but that ain't why Puffy in jail. Puffy in jail because, listen, you cannot be emotional and solve political problems. You cannot be emotional and solve, we get that from church. Church is all about emotion. You cannot liberate a people with emotion. Puffy may be guilty, and if he is, he should do the time. But that's not why he's there. Hugh Hefner did what Puffy did. He never went to jail. Puffy is in jail because he started a black first political party. Puffy is in jail because he sued one of the most powerful liquor companies in London. That's why Puffy's in jail. What the media does, because they know black people like to see black people fail, is they'll sell us this when the real agenda is that. I'm not saying don't hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. As black people, we believe in ethics and morality and character. But don't be so dumb that you can't see the hidden hand at play.
That nigga
I believe you played that on this show before, Jared.
No, it was a different clip, but he did speak on some of the same topics. But this time, his main point was about P. Diddy. Oh, shit. Oh, I gotta stretch, I'm tired.
How bad is this podcast?
Oh, shit. Oh, I don't know. You tell me you heard last week's episode, did you?
I don't think I heard last week. I heard the Thanksgiving Jeopardy. That's the last thing I heard.
Thanksgiving Day Coonin. Hey, don't worry. We are right on time. We are right on time. In news this week, Donald Trump is selling a new cologne. And he's calling it Fight, Fight, Fight. And he said because it represents us winning on it. And he's selling his bottle of cologne for $200.
Yeah, you might as well call that shit fart, fart, fart.
I hear he's incontinent.
Who there called my name?
Yeah, would you guys try this cologne?
Man, like I said in the thing, it's a rally cry in the bottle. True Social.
Yeah, that shit is basically douche.
It's the only cologne that I could wear before going to take a shit on Nancy Pelosi's desk. True Social.
It smells like the beautiful gooch of a 80-year-old orange man.
Oh, that's the smell of the country. True Social.
This motherfucker is selling cologne, man. He's selling watches, cologne. He's trying to sell guitars. He got a cease and desist.
Yo,
guitar
that cologne is basically a white man's version of that Glock Dookie.
In other news, a U.S. federal court upheld the U.S. ban on TikTok. Meaning, after January 19th, TikTok will either need to sell to an American company, ByteDance, the Chinese company, needs to sell the company, or it will be banned in the United States. What do you guys think about that?
I think you're the only nigga that care.
Where am I going to do my TikTok dances at?
I was just about to say that, Darius. What you gonna do after this, Jared?
Yeah, you the only nigga that care about this shit.
What you gonna do, Jared?
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not certain. I might have to get on Reddit a little bit more, I guess.
Come in here if you want.
Pedro on the phone. Pedro looked like one of those people who's doing like a tell-all, but they hiding his face in darkness.
Come on.
They got the room kind of lit, so you can see a silhouette of a nigga there, but you don't see his face.
He looked like the dude that was partying with Bill Cosby that they interview him now. Like, yeah, I was partying with Bill Cosby in the 80s and the 60s.
They persecuted Jesus, and look what happened.
Well, they said because of TikTok's expansive reach, both Congress and the president determined that it's essential to protect our national security, that it divest from the Chinese control. Do you guys think that this is an infringement on First Amendment rights and free market, or is this a national security issue?
Jared, losing TikTok will not be hurt to our society.
Will it save us from a national security fiasco?
It saved you from DMing 15-year-old white girls on accident.
This nigga.
I ain't gonna go that far now.
He over here calling me Jay-Z. I believe that the social media giant Pokemon Go, the parent company, came out and said they were mapping out the world with all the data they were collecting. So I'm not certain.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because algorithms and all this shit is based on the shit that you look at, is based on the shit that you watch. Go back up. What? Nope, nigga. What the? Oh, now it's gone.
What was it, Darius?
Go back there. Oh, it's gone. Go back there. Anybody else see that shit?
No, I missed it.
It was for a Cannibal Corpse concert. Masuga.
I didn't.
Mashugala?
I'm about to look it up. Now he don't want to look it up. All of a sudden he want to click on some shit. Actually,
well, I think it is a big issue because, if you are banning First Amendment speech, Congress also passed a bill that can allow, without evidence, people to take away nonprofit status of organizations. Some of these organizations that might be fighting for human rights or marginalized communities, if they get said that they are supporting some kind of terrorist group, they can lose their nonprofit status and thus their ability to function as effectively or at all, and be stigmatized by whoever is bringing claims that they are supporting terrorist organization. I guess my question or my issue is, I'm just concerned about these First Amendment rights and these First Amendment, protections now being potentially infringed upon, because if you look at it anyways, TikTok is a social media platform that people can express certain views on, and it has been, moderated pretty heavily to get rid of, inappropriate or explicit content, or racist and bigoted or hateful content. So it has been moderated pretty hard. However, I'm not certain that eliminating the whole thing as a whole is really protecting these values we hold so true in the United States. I don't know. It might not seem like a big deal to you guys, but these are big machinations happening in the courts and with some large organizations, companies.
If you're not able to download TikTok videos that you like, Jared, and it's not hitting your algorithm, do you think you'll go crazy?
No, I don't think so.
Answer is yes.
I don't think so. It's not necessarily about me consuming TikTok. It's about the information I think shared on TikTok. And it was, especially during this past year or almost 15 months now, war going on or assault on Gaza. That's when it really started getting pressure to be banned because there were a lot of progressive or anti-war or anti-apartheid content creators really showing a lot of things, a lot of journalists on the ground in Gaza, showing a lot of what was going on to those people. So I think that's when it really started getting pressure from Congress to shut it down or make them sell.
We'll still see what the hell's going on, Jared.
I know. I'm just saying you have these different platforms that they're being.
There's also other things that you leaking out is the one there are the user agreements that people never read. That has some of the worst parts to it, and you do give up access to things, privacy.
Oh, Facebook and Harvard Analytica, all that happened, and they're still running just fine.
I know, but I'm saying there's still maybe it is. That's what makes it. It could be either way, man.
I think there has been a massive push to censor in our country over the last. The dynamics of our political discourse has been more and more polarizing, thus more and more pushing people to one side or the other. And the fringes on the outside have been, saying, well, actually towards the one side more so, has been squeezed. And it's concerning as somebody who considers themselves to be more of a leftist or a progressive, that these emerging voices are now finding harder and harder places to express themselves or gain some kind of recognition, acknowledgement, and validity. Not saying that TikTok.
You ain't gonna never get me to agree with you over some shit like
Not saying that TikTok
using
is.
social media. Yeah,
I'm not saying that
TikTok. Like TikTok is Martin Luther King walking through here, Jared.
Oh, there's no Martin Luther King's walking anymore.
You acting like TikTok is the Martin Luther King, dude.
We ain't in the 60s.
It's showing the voices of the downtrodden and everybody.
Well, I think it's interesting because you also have to consider that, nowadays, the majority of young people, we're not of a generation that we can say this is what it is. No, this is how it was for us. We are now not the future in that way. And a lot of young people are gathering their information and their news from social media platforms. That's just what it is. So as much as
that's fucking sad.
Kids are dumb.
It's dumb, but it's also a symptom of capitalism. It's a symptom of our society. Is that you're seeing Jeff Bezos own the Washington Post. You're seeing your boy Elon Musk owning Twitter now. So you're seeing these corporations and these larger, powerful entities buying up the news sources, buying up the newspapers. So you're not getting that journalism. They're getting I've seen some stuff where they're getting all the same reads on certain national stories. All these Chicago, Wisconsin, DC, Atlanta, Bay Area, they're reading the same prompt.
I don't disagree with you. You're not going to sell me on some shitty ass social media platform that I should be fighting for it or anything like that.
I just think you gotta
or that I should even care.
You gotta look above the weeds because I think there's some bigger plays going on downfield that we can't see as long as we keep our head running through the cornfields. Anyways,
I'm gonna tell you how you guys lost the country. That you leftists lost the country. You want to hear the truth?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Leftists lost the country when you start putting your kids in dresses.
Jesus.
I have no fight back. I have no bite back.
He's stupid.
That's wild.
When you put your little boys in dresses and tell them to identify as whoever the fuck they want to be, you lost the country.
I blame Charlize Theron and Madonna. They started all this.
Exactly.
In other news, the college football playoff is on, and the teams are set. The top four that will get a bye in this 12-team playoff is Oregon is number 1, Georgia numero 2, Boise State snuck in there at the number 3 seed. Arizona State at the number 4 seed. Good God, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
The first round of playoffs, we'll see 4 games between Tennessee is playing Ohio State. The winner
Ohio State.
Yes, and there's home games in Ohio State. Indiana University will be playing at Notre Dame. SMU will be playing at Penn State. And Clemson will be playing at Texas. What do you guys think about the playoff, the 12-team playoff? Are you excited about it? And do you think the committee got it right?
Wow. Sorry, Jared. Sorry.
Or wrong. What happened?
Dude, the Chiefs. Okay, so the Chiefs got the ball, ran it all the way down, ran all the time out of the clocks, got a key third down, right? And then that way they can keep running time out the clock, not leave San Diego a chance to get the ball back. So they take a knee, they run the ball, they take a knee, they get it, they call timeout, 1 second left. They're down 2. So they go for the field, or down 1, they go for the field goal. The kicker kicks it, look like it's gonna miss. It hits the upright, and in typical Chief fashion, the shit goes in, dude. It looked like it was gonna straight miss, but it like caught a piece of the upright and went in.
Oh shit.
But anyway, going back to your college football, Jared, this might be the last year we see some shit like this, dude. Because I don't think they're gonna allow like Boise to finish it with the bye, or A-State to finish with the bye. Maybe A-State's okay, but the fact that Boise got a bye, they were not one of the top teams that they did win their conference. But it's like, why are we letting one of the lesser conferences finish with the bye? Because someone had to win it. The guaranteed seeding, I think that's going to be the thing you see.
Didn't Boise beat not Nevada, but UNLV in the championship game?
Yeah, they beat UNLV. They won their division, but it wasn't like it was a tight division to win.
Right.
But the team, I think the worst team that's there, our team that probably don't deserve to be there, but they ain't lost, is Indiana. I think they have 1 loss.
To Ohio State, yeah.
They have 1 loss, but they haven't played anybody. They had like the worst schedule. They didn't play Penn State. They didn't play Oregon. They didn't play any of the other Big Ten schools that were good. The only one they played was Ohio State, and they won.
Notably left out of this playoff is Alabama.
Yes, that's what happened when you lose 3 games.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Apparently, Joel Klatt was not too pleased with the.
Well, Alabama lost 3 games. They're the only team. All these teams is up here only lost 2 at most. 2 at most. There's a bunch of teams that lost 1, and then the most is 2, right? Maybe Clemson, but Clemson won the ACC, right? So that's why they're there. Everybody else wanted 2 or less. Alabama would have been in if they didn't shit the bed 3 weeks ago against Oklahoma, who already had like 6 losses.
That quarterback Monroe from Alabama, everybody was hyping him up as
he wants to let a naysayer know.
Let a naysayer know. He can let him know while he's sitting at home. He can be typing all he wants during the games. He can be on TikTok before it go away.
He shit the bed so bad, and I've seen it. And everybody's talking about, man, that's a pro throw. I never think I didn't even know he could make those throws. That's a pro throw there. He's looking upfield. He's looking at his wide receivers. That nigga was a nigga on that field. The wide receivers was wide open. And then once everybody figured him out, he's like, oh, he likes to step through this hole and throw the ball. Or he likes to be in this pocket and throw the ball. What happened when everybody figured it out? Oklahoma smashed.
They got
everybody
smashed.
figured that.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a close loss to like the worst team in the SEC this year.
Yeah, man. Come on, because he was predictable. I said, man, everybody overhyping this dude. He's not good. He's just athletic. He does have an arm, but he don't know where to go with it. Just like niggas didn't know where to go at, and the white people showed them boats.
Black people had Africa, that big old continent over there. They never built one boat that was seaworthy. Not one. There's not one monument in Africa, in all of Africa.
Come on, come on, Patron.
In other news, Juan Soto, breaking news, just signed a contract with the Mets for 15 years and $765 million. Good Lord, that's a lot of money. He'll be playing with the Mets till he's 41 or 42 and getting paid $51 million a year.
I don't know why. I don't know why I've been going with Jared to Hawaii and different places. I should have been going to Dominican Republic. It should have been a passport, bro. Had me a few kids out there. And then leave them out there so they could become good baseball players.
Aaron has a great way of parenting in mind.
Going to Seattle all them years, should have been in Dominican Republic, man.
Well, you go, yeah. You go to Japan, find you, get you.
12 years ago. He'll be 12 right now. He'll be in one of the farm systems getting ready.
Well, yeah, it's the longest contract ever signed by a player apparently, and he's gonna be collecting checks well into his Albert Pujols days. So congratulations to him on that one.
The Angels. Yeah, I guess the Angels are winners for this one for being the first team to sign someone to 15 years, and it's not them. Having players play well into their 40s, giving them a lot of money, and it ain't the Angels for once.
I think New York's gonna be good for Soto, but we'll see if they can keep Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso around him, and if they might be able to make some noise. Too bad the Yankees couldn't muster up the money. I think he didn't want to play for the stiff ass Yankees either, though.
Pete Alonso, is he a free agent this year? I thought it was unrestricted right now. Can't remember.
I don't remember, but he's coming up. I know that he's coming up.
But I think the Mets got some Dominican players, unlike the Yankees. I think that also helped pay it out. You know, they got Francisco Lindor. They got who's the pitcher? I don't know if he's Dominican, but he's Caribbean Latin. What's the pitcher name? The one that comes out to Timmy Trumpet?
Hernandez.
Yes, the one that hurt himself.
I have no idea. I just threw out a Spanish name, Aaron.
No, yeah. Pete Alonso is an unrestricted free agent.
Well, they ain't getting him back.
It's fine. He didn't play that well last year anyway.
He struggled, but he's a cornerstone bat, 40 home run guy, 120 RBI type guy, but his batting average could be better. In other sports news, Dave Parker and Dick Allen, two black people saving baseball, have been elected to baseball's Hall of Fame, and they will be.
Who's the second name?
Dick Allen.
Who was the second name?
Dick Allen.
Do any of y'all know what a BBC is? No! You don't want to know. It does much damage.
They'll be going in under the Classic Baseball Era Committee, or Classic Baseball Era. And it's a ballot that considers players, managers, executives, umpires whose primary contributions came prior to 1980. And a screening committee selected eight distinguished finalists for the final vote, with candidates needing to receive at least 12 votes from the 16-person committee that consisted of Hall of Famers Paul Molitor, Eddie Murray, Tony Perez, Lee Smith, Ozzie Smith, Joe Torre, plus 5 executives/owners and 5 media members/historians. Parker was named 14 times on 16 of the ballots, and Allen 13 on 16. So, yeah, two brothers coming in a little bit late, but getting that Hall of Fame nod in baseball. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I'm glad they made it. Especially Dick Allen.
Where you been since yesterday, knuckle? You been fucking around?
Nope.
Let me smell your dick.
Looks like there's a lot of cocaine going into the Hall of Fame.
It definitely is. Especially your boy Dave Parker, man. Was he with the A's at one point?
Yeah, he was.
Was he on that 80? He was on the 88 team that lost, right?
He was on, I think,
all those. The cocaine was okay in the locker room.
Yeah, Parker was the 78 National League MVP for the Pirates, and Dick Allen played for the Phillies and was the American League MVP for the White Sox in 72. So shout out to those guys.
So,
sponsorship.
Both of those men look like they said, hey, y'all know where I can score some blow?
You a whole cokehead out here, bro.
I don't know about Dick Allen and Blow. He was part of a singing group, it said, during his off season. So it means probably was. He's probably more right now after I just realized I said that.
Yo,
Dave Parker for sure. He was part of that Pittsburgh team that they all got called to a grand jury about the drug use.
The uppers. No, he was in the
greenies. They were taking greenies. The uppers. Yeah.
No, but they got called in because they had a heavy cocaine.
He's probably on that team with the guy who did LSD or acid before he pitched a no-hitter.
Black dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Parker was part of the Pittsburgh drug trials in '85, in which current and former member of the Pirates. He was one of them, along with Enos Cabell, Keith Hernandez, Tim Raines, Lonnie Smith. A lot of people. They were the ones that had like the dealer that would come to in the dugout with them. They were doing a lot of cocaine.
June 12th,
Dave Stewart.
1970, Pirates pitcher Doc Ellis threw a no-hitter while on acid. So, yeah, shout out to Doc Ellis.
He needs to be making Hall of Fame wearing rollers on the field. Look up Doc Ellis. Just look up Doc Ellis. Just type it into your bar. That's it. Nothing else. Doc Ellis, please. I need Pedro and Darius to see this picture.
That's around the time I used to watch baseball.
And then hit enter, and then go to images. That's all I want you to do. Hit enter, and go to images. Go to images, please. There's more.
Oh,
my man should have made the Hall of Fame for wearing rollers on the field, dude. Look at there's another one. There's several of them with him wearing rollers.
He's the GOAT.
On the field. He should have made the Hall of Fame based on this alone.
He should have at least got a deluxe apartment in the sky.
Oh, this boy. He was from LA. I should have known.
In other news, Tom Brady came out this week, said that the hit on Trevor Lawrence last week by Shair Al-Shabazz, I think that's his name. Was that his name?
Let's call him Muhammad.
Okay, from Shair Al-Shair is his last name. It's Al-Shair. Something Al-Shair. Tom Brady weighed in with Colin Cowherd on whether or not the NFL should change its rules to protect quarterbacks or also defensive players, if the responsibility rests on the coaches and the offensive players to not get hit. Here's what he had to say.
I got mixed emotions. I want my quarterback to have some mobility, but I also think you leave the pocket, Tom, and you're a running back. Where are you on this hit?
I'll start by saying there's mixed emotions that I have about it as well. I remember in 2001, I think we played at Buffalo, and I slid late, and Nate Clements was the corner for the Bills, and he came up out of the secondary and absolutely crushed me. My helmet went flying off, and I got back and I ran to the huddle, and I had a lot of teammates that came up to me the next day and said, dude, these guys are coming. You got to get rid of that football, and if you're going to slide, you better get down. These guys are coming to get you. And it was a great kind of learning experience for me because I realized that when I'm out of that pocket, things were moving a lot faster for me. And the defense is trying to be very aggressive. And over time, the NFL has obviously done a lot of things to, protect players and player health and safety. It's been on and on and on. And the only aspect that I think is very challenging, and certainly for Trevor Lawrence, nobody wants to see anybody get hurt, but it is also the reality of a very physical sport that we play.
Yeah.
But the only way defensive players have to be aggressive. That's their nature. I always try to be aggressive on offense. We try to block aggressively. And at the same time, the defense tries to tackle aggressively. So I don't know. There's an aspect to me that I think the quarterbacks and certainly the quarterbacks need to take better care of themselves. I see Josh Allen running a lot. I see Lamar Jackson running a lot. And it's a great skill set to have. A lot of times I wish I had that skill set. And at the same time, when you run, you put yourself in a lot of danger. And when you do that, I don't think the onus of protecting an offensive quarterback who's running should be on a defensive player. I don't think that's really fair to the defense. So if you slide and it's, everyone can argue, was it black and white or was it just a gray area? Do you slide late or is it unnecessary roughness or is it a late hit? To me, a late hit is very late. There's quarterbacks that I see running and tiptoe on the sideline, and they're not even out of bounds, and they get hit as they're starting to step out of bounds, and there's a penalty flag thrown. So the aspect, again, for a play caller, there's more designed runs for quarterbacks ever now than in the history of the NFL. So are we really trying to protect quarterbacks? Because if you are trying to do it through the rules, then why are the offensive coordinators not protecting their quarterbacks by keeping them in the pocket and not designing as many quarterback runs? So,
what do you guys think about that?
Wrong messenger.
That was a goofy statement. There's a rule. They made a rule for a reason, right? You want to keep your money player in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's giving his body up in a slide, now I know it is hard to, you're going after a ball carrier. If you're an aggressive player, that's how you go after a ball carrier. But with Algier, whatever his name is, whatever that Muslim name is, he uses his full arm and kind of like wanted to knock the dude's chin. Like, he was like wanted to punch the dude and knock his head in the ground. That's the motion he was giving off. Now I understand, like, if he was going after him and just like his body hit the ground, you know what? I was like, hey, that's just a car accident. You know what I mean? What he did, he put his full arm out under the man's chin. He knew exactly what he was doing. And he did it for the sake of Allah.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
My opinion on this, Jared, is that it's the wrong messenger being Tom Brady talking about quarterbacks got to protect themselves. The one person who the league changed so many rules for to protect.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody got more protection from the league and rules than he did.
Well, I kind of respect it, though. I think I kind of get what you're saying, but I also kind of respected that he's like, I think he knows. He said that like they made rules to protect the quarterbacks because of him, and also he's calling out some of these rules that are, because we always see people complaining every week about, the calls and, sometimes overprotecting the quarterback or certain quarterbacks getting, special treatment. So like for him not to sit back and be like, oh yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, even though he would benefit, like that's the worst, is like when you gaslight people like there isn't some kind of special treatment and agenda when you are the direct recipient of it or the creator of it. It's like, I think that's worse. I do appreciate him at least calling it out and giving his 2 cents.
I want to bring this up. I'm glad you brought this story up, Jared. I don't know if you guys seen the play of, I don't know the kid's name, but the Arizona-Iowa State game.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And I don't know if it was a linebacker or safety. I don't know what position he played, but he's one of their top defensive players.
I thought you were talking about Texas.
Knocked the living shit out of that quarterback.
No, that was Texas.
Illegal. No, not Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona.
Oh, you should see yesterday.
Texas, Georgia game. This play happened.
Here goes Stockton, calls his own number up the middle, absolutely drilled.
Yeah, he tucked it and ran. It was a design draw run for him, and he got loaded up and
dude, he got a wobbly.
See if you can find the Arizona. See if you can find an Arizona hit. Because this is textbook tackle. And he's gonna miss the first. They give him a targeting call.
Yeah, so you gotta miss the half.
He's gonna miss a half. And
Arizona State.
Dude wasn't one to pick. Yeah, Arizona State. I think it was the championship game. This is it right here. Look at this. Bow. He wrapped him.
Iowa State.
Wrapped him. Exactly what they said.
Wrapped him up.
By Shamari Simmons. Human missile to start the fourth quarter.
That's the quarterback not knowing what was going on because he's a stupid kid.
Don't blow protections if you don't want dudes to get blowed up.
He's being punished for a fundamental tackle.
Yeah.
Talking about some damn target.
Maybe he should go for his knees. I think what Tom Brady's speaking to, though, that I do fully agree on, is like defensive players have to go full speed pretty much. They have probably the most amount of CTE typically because they're hitting way more often than an offensive player is typically. But that's speculation. But what I am saying is that like they have to like play fast and have to react, and asking them to like stop and like do these like super acts of physics being on the nth degree to be able to like all of a sudden when a dude decides to slide late or a quarterback all of a sudden ducks down right before you're about to blow up his chest, and now all of a sudden you're making contact with his helmet and you're getting called for, doing the thing like, this is how am I supposed to play? And I think that it's fucking up football. It's ruining. It doesn't ruin the game because everyone's always used to like, next play, the game's not gonna stop. But like, it can ruin games. It can change the entire outlook of games. When especially you think about college, like one or two players can be way more valuable to a team, and if they get kicked out of a game because of yada yada yada, like it like that could change the whole tenor of a game. And those penalties in big moments can also, change the trajectory of the dynamic of like whether you're playing from behind or you're playing from ahead. I just it's frustrating to see. So I think football is football. It's a physical sport. There's things that they can legislate out, but there's just parts where it's like, man, if you blow a motherfucker up, you blow a motherfucker up. Like you weren't trying to hit him in the head. You didn't lower your head. You know what I'm saying? That's his face mask on chest. Yeah.
They wear helmets because there's going to be some head bobbing and a face mask might hit a helmet, a head. And I mean, as long as you're not leading with it, then it's fine. I agree.
Man, he hit him in the chest. That kid hit him in the chest and his head as he was taking him to the ground. His helmet fell into under his chin. I don't understand how are you supposed to make that play?
Now the hit on Trevor Lawrence, that was kind of a late hit, but at the same time,
that's what I said.
At the same time, he was running 100 miles an hour trying to get to him and chase him down. And when he slides, like that's also like a really tough thing for all of a sudden the defender to be like, I'm about to hit you. And then all of a sudden you got to jump out the way or jump over the person. And like, that's how, like, I'm surprised we haven't seen more injuries from that on defensive players. If anything, that extreme, like you talk about Zion Williamson's not meant to be that size doing the kind of stuff he does. The physical body is not built that way, right? So he could do it for a while, but he's prone to break down. Like, it's not that you can't do it. It's just how long will you be able to do it? Defensive players are potentially, taking plays off their careers, maybe seasons off their careers if they get injured, trying to jump out of the way to not hit a sliding running back. I think they have to figure something out about how they call that, man. Because when a dude slides, especially last second, all of a sudden you getting called because you are committed to lining him up, and now you hit him in the head because you was going for his midsection because you didn't want to hit his knees, because they don't want you taking out their knees, and you can't go for the head. So you going for the midsection. All of a sudden, his midsection is now his head because he didn't slide at the last second. That's tough. I don't know. Darius, as a linebacker, how do you feel?
Oh no, man! There's been so much shady stuff that happens to linebackers. A lot of net pulling, a lot of booty hole poking.
Yeah, what's the craziest thing that happened at the bottom of one of those scrums, Darius?
Probably a little bit of a what is it called? A Dookie Glock.
Somebody was mining to fill their Dookie Glock. They had a water bottle up my ass.
Somebody smeared a little bit of a wristband that had a little Dookie Glock.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Oh shit.
I don't know. I think it's a high speed sport, and when it comes to positioning your body, I do think that there needs to be a little more leniency on how defensive players are kind of seen. I think the whole thing with equipment needs to be reapproached too, like new helmets, new pads, just new approach of like equipment. But for the most part, man, I think a lot of it is accidents, bro. It's high speed. Your decision-making ability is like very limited, and you're just trying to stop a runner, and I think sometimes it's not as malicious as people think.
No, it's high speed. And the other thing is like, if they fall forward, like in the Georgia game, he was trying to fall forward. The guy, he ducked down, he's being pulled down, and the dude's running by. It's like, what's that dude supposed to do? Now he's supposed to just not get out of the way and let the dude drag him down so he gets down to the 1 yard line instead of you hitting him and stopping his momentum so he actually stops at the 5. We got to change some of the other rules about the parameters of the game then. When you start getting tackled is where we'll mark the ball. How about that? Only one tackler, unless they're trying to break the tackle, but you're not allowed to break the tackle. No, hey, you can't break the tackle. Okay, never mind. So just, man, this sport was meant to be played brutally. That's why I didn't play it. That's why I played flag. Let these motherfuckers hit.
Yeah, no, man. You're clearly somebody who don't care about CTE, man. They don't need to be hitting.
If I know I do care about CTE, that's why I didn't play.
No.
It's like, what y'all talking about? Shit. Teddy Truth.
Darius, you know you ain't gonna win that battle.
NFL Week 13 rundown. Wait, hold on. What week are we in? We're week 14. Sorry. Are y'all ready for the week 14?
You never say which week
we're rundown. Week 14 started off with a shootout in Detroit as the Lions snuck one out against the Packers 34-31 as time expired.
I think the Lions peaked too soon. It took a lot of fourth down plays to win that one, and they barely snuck it out.
Yeah, man, Campbell went for it on 4th down and short in field goal range so that they could then get a first down and run the clock all the way down to kick a field goal as time expired. That was a ballsy play.
They might be in a little bit of trouble come playoff.
Anybody else think the Packers are fakers? Just kidding. The Browns fell to the Steelers in a nail-biter, 27-14 in Pittsburgh. Jameis Winston was lighting them up for the first couple minutes of the pregame speech, and then might have disappeared.
You have the pregame speech?
No, I don't.
Don't get me all excited over Jameis Winston pregame speech and you ain't got it.
Well, I would love to hear that.
You're gonna sit there and get me excited over Jameis Winston's speech and he ain't got it.
Maybe this is what we're gonna do. Maybe we're gonna win. Maybe.
He asked for the Lord to deliver him from interceptions. He threw almost 3 pick sixes last week.
I know I'm better than this. God has made me better than this.
Mr. Unlimited keeps winning with Steelers, AG3.
It's unlimited. You gotta be Darius. You gotta be unlimited when you come on this podcast. You gotta be unlimited, Darius.
No, I am very much so limited. I am limited. I have a short capacity.
You can't let Jared come over here and tell you this. You know, there's not enough people being unlimited on this podcast. You got to be unlimited.
Nah, I'm Mr. Limited.
The Saints snuck one out in the Meadowlands against the Giants, 14-11. My boy Derek Carr keep winning, man. Derek Carr was trying to see if he could jump over multiple players for the first down and happened to injure himself because he fell on his face.
He didn't even have to. Did you see the play? To quote one person, he must have had 2 concussions. They need to examine him for 2 concussions because he had to have one before because there was no reason for him to try to jump over somebody. Could have just ran around the person. Look, you see the crease? He has a crease. He could have went low and he had the first down basically.
He's the white version of Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston scores more than 14 points against the Giants. Jameis Winston scored 14 points against the Steelers defense.
Well, Derek Carr is now in jeopardy of missing out on opportunity to lose to the 32nd team if this concussion lingers. And I'm not saying Derek Carr would try and find an excuse not to lose to the most teams ever on record, but I'm not saying that he wouldn't use white Jesus in a concussion to avoid that happening.
He already has the record, Jared. He's the only quarterback in history to lose to 31 different teams. It's just that if he loses to the Raiders, he'll be the only person to lose to every team.
So he can set a new record.
Another record, yeah.
Derek Carr trying to be DJ Khaled, man, another one. That's what he's trying to have, another record. I hope his concussion does not keep him from playing against the Raiders in a couple weeks, and we can see him potentially lose to the 32nd team. That'd be tight. Oh, and Drew Lock is not the answer in New York.
No one is. They better hope. Dion better hope the Raiders get the #1 pick.
Drew Lock is. I remember, Drew Lock seemed like he's kind of like he one of them just like cracking niggas, he cracker coons.
Gotta got too much credit once again.
He played like a more athletic Geno Smith before Geno Smith figured out not to get punched by teammates.
Exactly.
The Jets were disappointed once again and shocked to lose to the Dolphins in Miami 26-32 in overtime. Are the Jets back?
They back to get knocked off the playoffs. And now the longest non-playoff streak in all of U.S. major sports continue.
They've had Aaron Rodgers for 2 years and they still haven't broke the curse. The Dolphins, Tua's started to put up some numbers in the last few games ever since except for that whole game where it was kind of cold thing. But otherwise, he's starting to put together some big numbers and the offense is starting to hum. Miami could be turning it around.
Could be turning around. Too bad every team that's above them all play in cold weather places. Every team from Baltimore,
Kansas
City, Buffalo. And then who's the other divisional winner?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, they in trouble, dude. They are in trouble, Jared. No way they gonna make it. Everybody will hope it.
They gotta
tell in Kansas City.
They gotta hope they play the Chargers in the first round.
they in trouble, man.
They gotta hope
that Tua don't get hit and turn back into a vegetable.
They do
exactly. They gotta keep winning. They gotta pass Baltimore because Houston's the last place team. Houston has no way to make it a third, second, or first seed. So Houston, being the 4th seed, will play the 5th, the top wild card.
So they got to try and get the 5th seed. So they
got to try to
Houston.
pass Baltimore to get the 5th seed. Play Houston and Houston. That's the only chance they got to make it to
past that first round.
We
know what they're gonna do once they get to the real cold weather teams.
Yes, once they got to go to Buffalo, Kansas City, or Pittsburgh, they done.
It's too bad because I thought Aaron Rodgers and his ability to play in the cold would really help the Jets in these late season.
We're talking about your boy Hawk Tua. We're not.
I just feel bad for the Jets because they thought this guy Aaron Rodgers was going to come save the day.
It wasn't just Jets fans. Well, Jets fans are idiots already to begin with. People like Mike Greenberg, who was just talking about we're Super Bowl favorites, and everybody talking about Super Bowl favorites. But it wasn't just Jets fans. It was also a bunch of Cal fans.
The Jaguars defeated the Titians in the game of the week.
Oh my God.
10-6.
I'm trying to figure out how the Titans got 6 points. I saw them I turned on that game and saw them make the red zone 3 different times. Wow. That looked like the worst game of the weekend.
Does anybody have any interest in this game? I just want to know is Trevor Lawrence okay? Did he play?
Here's the crazy thing. In the weekend that had nothing but scoring, right? Look at all the scores. They had scored except for one game.
The Falcons and Kirk Cousins. Kirk 3-5-4 fifth chain. Lost to the Vikings in a nail biter, 42-21.
Yeah, fool was throwing picks left and right, man. Vikings made the right move. If you would have told me last year Sam Darnold's the right move over Kirk Cousins, I would have said, nah, they must be getting someone in the draft, which they did, and we got hurt. And the backup was the right move. Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins.
Hey, shout out to Jordan Addison for winning some people their fantasy weeks this week.
Minnesota made the wrong choice by drafting, which is McCarty.
Jim McCarthy.
But then he played in the preseason, and I said, under that offense, he's going to be okay.
No, he looked actually decent in the preseason.
Yeah. You think Derek Carr looked good under that offense, Pedro?
No, evidently not.
Derek Carr would look good under that offense until he stopped doing good or looking good, which would have probably been after about 2 to 4 games. And then everyone would blame the offense for Derek Carr not doing well. They're going to blame the defender or his teammate in the defender for being in the way of him running for the first down, which forced him to jump over them for the first down.
I blame my teammates, my lead blocker, because Jesus told me to jump over.
Is it time for the Falcons to get some more Big Panics energy out there?
It's too late now. I want to just wait till the last game.
Well, if you're still on the hunt for the playoffs, you can. You want to
do the Patrick Mahomes plan.
I mean, how many games? They're just still one game out, right?
Yeah, they're only one game out of the winning the division.
You got to keep playing them until it's over. Then you put big BBC energy in there.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see some BBC energy. Shout out to the Vikings. Keep on rolling. Looking like with that defense, it's going to be a formidable team with the offense that continues to have explosive games like this. The Panthers lost when they should have won because Xavier Legette forgot how to catch a goddamn ball. 16-22 in Philadelphia.
They keep coming close. They fighting.
Yeah, I think they got something to build on with Bryce Young. They've been in a lot of games. He can see the field pretty well and throw the ball pretty well. It's just, I think the game hopefully is slowing down for him. Now they just got to get him some actual talent on offense and defense.
Seems like Bryce Young grew an extra inch maybe, so he's making those plays. He's no longer a midget.
I mean, where did he grow that inch at? Ask Jerry Jones.
All right. The Eagles keep on winning, and they are the team to beat in the NFC, in my opinion. Buccaneers dominate the Vegas Raiders 28-13 in Tampa.
The Raiders ain't got no fight left in them.
That was a gutless loss. They just like, hey, screw it. We lost our quarterback. We don't have nothing. Man, let's just get to the locker room. Like the season over with. And I can get to some of these Las Vegas strippers.
It's like, can we start our exit interviews this week? We just do them like little installments.
Exactly.
Shout out to the Buccaneers and that quarterback there, Pedro. Is he proving that he's not a?
He's a fraud.
He keep proving Pedro wrong.
Wait till the playoffs come. Well,
he won a game last year in the playoffs.
He was balling. Actually, he was balling this game. And then late, he threw some dumb interceptions for some reason.
The Seahawks keep things rolling and alive for winning the West, beating the Cardinals 30-16, 30-18 in Arizona. Camp P-Funk, your home team fell to the Seahawks. What happened?
Got a midget.
All right. Once again, NFL broken down in terms of having too many midgets.
You got a midget that lost to a nigger. That's the problem.
You lost to a refined nigga version of Drew Lock.
They fell off bad. It seemed like they started to turn a corner and be a physical team, and didn't. Something clicked. It was like, oh shit, that pumpkin turned into a midget.
I think all the new, the loadouts for Warzone and the different skins or kits for guns came out, and all of a sudden,
the one reloaded came out.
Ever since the Battle Pass came out, his play is falling off.
Everyone was surprised the week it came out. He still played well, and then no, y'all got to give him. He got to play too many nights and get a little tired, get a little complacent. Well, the Seahawks, I believe, are in first place now. Are we correct?
Yeah, first place. One game in front of the Rams and 2 games down from the Arizona and San Francisco.
Okay, all right. Well, let's. Like I said, it's getting interesting in the West. The Bears lost in heartbreaking fashion by getting their ass whooped for 4 whole quarters, 38-13 in Santa Clara.
Man, who the hell coaching them? Because I remember them naming. Did they name somebody? I remember them naming somebody after fired Eberflus last week.
If you were gonna fire Eberflus for losing close games, at least say this is gonna make our team be better. I just
because Eberflus is the defensive coach, and the defensive guys played hard for him and liked him.
Yeah, they were in a lot of games.
They had to fire him because he's not a good coach. So
yeah, but maybe you wait till the end of the season. I know it was embarrassing.
Talked about him that last game.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah, that's when he lost the team.
But now you got 38-13
to a broken 49er team.
You let the Niners. This is what I was worried about. I was like, the Bears, they fired Eberflus, but they still have had a good D. Are they going to be able to make things difficult on the Niners? No. They showed no resistance, and the Niners got to get some positive mojo going, and that concerns me because I don't want to see them do well whatsoever. I don't want them to get any mojo going. But these are the kind of games that, oh man, they all clicked on that Bears game, and all of a sudden next week they putting up 30 points, 35 points. The offense starting to click. The defense is still holding on to be decent enough. I worry. The Niners are a team, the NFL, we need to worry about, guys. The Bills fall just shy of a big win in LA against the Rams, 42-44, the shootout of the week.
That was a good game. It was only I only remember one punt the whole game. I think it was only one punt.
I think I only saw 3 or 4 tackles the whole game. Also,
I got pissed off at that play when they started to come back and your boy ran that pooping into a jet sweep. I was like, okay, how many times you gonna run that play before you don't think Buffalo gonna figure that out? Come on.
Yeah, I don't know why he ran that jet sweep.
I got pissed off with that play because that's how they lost the Super Bowl. Kept running them silly ass jet sweeps.
No, they didn't run any in that Super Bowl. That was the problem. Against the Patriots, the one thing they didn't run was the jet sweep, which me and Jared kept saying that was the bread and butter. That reminded me of the game that was the year that the Rams made the Super Bowl and lost to the Patriots. They played a regular season Thursday night game. I was at Cornerstone, Rams versus Kansas City. And they had the color rush uniforms on, and the score was 50-40 something, 50-49 or something.
Well, shout out to the Rams. They're putting pressure on people now, and hopefully they can hold off the Niners. If anything,
they don't have to make the playoffs. Just hold the Niners.
Just make it tough on. They got to play them one more time, right?
Yep, in San Francisco.
Yeah, let's go. Give them a battle. Well, the Bills are still in a good place, but they might wanna try and sew up that second seed if they can. They can't keep losing these kind of games.
they're close to sewing up the second seed, but that just put them now 2 behind Kansas City for the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
They had the tiebreaker, but it don't matter if you're 2 behind them.
Yeah, but now you got the Steelers hot on your tail too. So that was a tough one. They're gonna look back and be like disappointed they lost that one. I think. Final game of the week, or actually, the Cowboys are gonna get whooped on by the Bengals because Joe Burrow is gonna just go scorched earth on these motherfuckers tomorrow. But
we don't know that, Jared. We don't
hopefully,
know that.
The Chargers fell to the Chiefs, 17-19. Chiefs keep on winning. Chargers I didn't even know the Chargers were still in the league. I thought I did. Are they playing? They play games?
They're the ones that until this game, I think they were in the 5th seed, so they would have played at Houston. I think there's a lot of teams chasing them for that 4th seed, and they were happy that the Chiefs won.
Right now, Kansas City and Buffalo would have the byes. Pittsburgh is tied at 10-3.
Oh, see, Baltimore at the tiebreaker because they beat the Chargers, so they're now in the 5th. And Broncos are right behind them. Everybody want that 5th, man.
Yeah, Chargers, Broncos. It's going to be interesting. Miami, Cincinnati, man. It's so disappointing. Cincinnati has an outside chance that they can win out. Could potentially sneak in a couple teams. Really just fuck up. Yeah, they need Denver and LA. One of those 2 teams has to go 1-4 in their last 4 games.
Oh, yeah, Cincinnati.
Or 1-3. Pedro, what is Joe Burrow going to do to the Cowboys on Monday Night Football?
Who's Pedro's lock for this week?
That was my lock.
That's his lock?
Bengals. Oh. Yeah, so Joe Burrow probably throws for 4 touchdowns. Go ahead and put this. Go ahead and get your parlay card out. Everybody, get your parlay card out. They didn't do a parlay. Go take Joe Burrow 2 touchdowns plus. Jamar Chase 190 yards plus. Yeah, these ridiculous parlays I got.
Very ridiculous. These are high-ass numbers. Parlays be like 6 catches and 70 yards. And you over here.
Ask him for 190 yards. What's the odds on that?
90 yards, Jamar Chase.
He said 100.
Give their tight end 8 catches.
Come on.
You don't even know who that tight end is.
Mike Gesicki. He don't even know. Let's go.
You don't have 8 catches. I know that.
8 catches. Goddamn, dude.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, you guys heard it here first. You're going to hear it on Friday after the game happens, but can buy that parlay on Joe Burrow tomorrow. All right. Well, here's a couple. Pedro, you got a Stone Cold lock for? That'll be your Stone Cold lock, right? We'll make that.
Lock for next week.
You want to do a lock for next week?
Oh no, I don't care.
Pretty good. Hold on. All right, Pedro, you ready for the Stone Cold lock? Week 15, Stone Cold lock. We got the Rams at the Niners on Thursday Night Football. Commanders playing in New Orleans against the De Carlos. I got a oye man, concussion man. Saints. Chiefs at the Browns. Bengals at the Titans. That's going to be a shit show. Dolphins at the Texans. Ravens at the Gigantes. Jets at the Jaguars. You know what? Aaron Rodgers might get a win that game. Cowboys at the Panthers. They'll lose just like they did to Jake Delhomme's goofy ass back in 2004 because they had a cokehead playing quarterback. Buccaneers at the Chargers. Colts at the Broncos. Patriots at the Cardinals. Bills at the Lions. Pencil that one in. That's going to be a fun one. Steelers at the Eagles. Another hard nose. I can't wait to see that game. I hope somebody on the Eagles gets hurt. Packers at the Seahawks. Bears at the Vikings. And Falcons at the Raiders.
All right, guys, you want to go ahead. If you got grandkids like I do, I want you to take their piggy bank, smash it, take all the money out of there, and double it. Okay, double it. Put your money on the Falcons.
Falcons versus Raiders. Is that what it is? Come
Falcons
on,
versus Raiders. If you want to double your money, if you want to double your grandkids' money, Or if you got a niece, nephew, you got a penny bank, go in their room, smash it, take the money, double it. Buy them a new penny bank. You take the Falcon plus the point.
All right, you heard it here first. We do not condone nor endorse gambling.
Yes, we do.
But Captain B-Funk does.
Life is short. Gamble. Gamble all your goods.
You would have bet that new pair, that new pair of Hokers you ain't taking out of the box yet.
I haven't taken them out the box. They sitting right behind.
Aaron, put those down on the Falcons. Cuddy Corner shoutouts. Cuddy Corner shoutouts. Cuddy Corner shoutouts is the segment in the show where everyone gets a chance to rant, complain, or highlight something positive in the world. Cuddy Corner shoutouts. Cuddy Corner shoutouts.
It's time. We're burning now. God, if you let it in, hell, so cold and bleeding now, now, now. I'm in for it, man. Gonna let you down. He had sex with my mama. We're broken people now. I just said I need a
Aaron, do you have a Cuddy Corner shoutout?
I do have a Cuddy Corner shout. I was watching the women's basketball game today. South Carolina versus TCU. Ended up being a blowout. TCU ranked 9, South Carolina ranked 3. South Carolina has a little bit of fallback. They lost, Camila Cordorsa to the draft. They're, coming off a national championship. They have a loss this season. You figure there'll be some blowback after, going all the way last year and not returning everybody. They still have Chloe Kitts and that 3-point shooter, the Polynesian girl, I forget her name. And so they got a good team, and they got this girl that's kind of power forward. And so today I'm watching TCU. They're blowing them out. The announcer, Andrea Carter, loves women's basketball, claims she loves women's basketball, but can be very biased. And she's telling me about, I missed part of the game, and during halftime she's talking about one play that really fired it up defensively and offensively. If you want to see this, go to South Carolina women's basketball highlight. And she was claiming this one, I've never seen a play before where a defensive play turned into an offensive play that fired up this game. I want you to go to it. Just put in South Carolina TCU highlights. That's all. It'll be the first highlight we'll see. Yeah, the dunk.
Swatkins throwing it down. Woo! She can dunk, and we love it.
Got his thing.
Flex.
That was a pretty nice dunk, though.
No, it was clean. But I don't know how exciting I can call this year. That's about as exciting as... It reminds me when I got my first dunk in 8th grade. My first clean jam like that in 8th grade. That's it. Like, she's fully stretched out, and that's the highest she was going to get. Don't get me wrong. I'll give her credit for clean. Unlike that Lisa Leslie one that wasn't clean that one time. This was clean. But Jared, that's the length, that's the extent of the dunk.
She might be able
women's
to do
basketball, you need to lower the rims.
She can do a windmill if she trains hard enough, does enough steroids.
She's on steroids.
She cannot do no windmill, Jared.
Cam P-Funk, do you have a Cuddy Corner shout out?
Yeah, man. Lakers has been on a long losing streak, and the Golden State Warriors both been on a long losing streak. And that's because all of a sudden, their old players are playing old. The Warriors are rumored this week about getting them another star, another player on the team to help them out. The young talent, it can take you so far, but I'm going to give credit to the Warriors. At least they're in all their games, and their players are playing with effort. Los Angeles, on the other hand, they're losing their games and they get blown out. That's because they got that old nigga LeBron James padding stats right now. That nigga is padding stats. He done made all the wrong adjustments, telling people, pointing at other players to get back on defense. He's taking a 3-point shot, ill-advised 3-point shots all over the place, and then telling his teammates to get back on defense, and he's the furthest person from the basket. He is padding his stats in the worst way. It's time for you to rebuild, LA. Thanks for coming. Thank you, LeBron, for that 2020 championship. Thanks for coming. It's time for you to go now. JJ Redick, you found out the hard way. Hey, these NBA players do not listen when you tell them run these sets or tell them to holler out screens and stuff. They don't listen. They don't listen because the Lakers gave LeBron James free range to do whatever the hell he wanted and draft his son on the team, and it's starting to show. It's starting to show. So Lakers get that kind of quarter shot out for that ridiculousness and stuff that's going on. Rob Pelinka needs to be fired. Yeah, I have no reason. I don't understand why he's anybody's general manager. He's an idiot, complete idiot. Second credit quarter shout out goes out to these kickers. Oh my God. Oh my God. I've seen so many kicks get the length. I've seen so many kicks get blocked. I've seen so many kicks curl and hook right at the goalpost. These balls are not going in the hole at all. The kickers right now in the NFL and in the NCAA, by the way, reminded me of my stint in the early 90s trying to get some. Same thing. I was missing all over the place. The kickers, I don't know who's got a better percentage. I think I have a better percentage of getting pussy in the early 90s than these kickers out here, man. These kickers out here missing so bad, hitting the goal post, hitting the crossbar, hitting other players, falling down, spraining their ankle. You can't call it. PTAs are being missed. I think your boy, somebody did you Buckner hurt because he missed the field goal on an ankle sprain. Old boy from Philadelphia missed 2 PATs. They're being really sloppy right now. It was like me and my Mackin game back in the 90s, baby. Missing all over the place. I couldn't get none in the early 90s. And these kids can't either right now in 2024. Shout out to the Cookers.
All right. Old Negroes. My Cuddy Corner shout out goes out to the A's for signing Lou Severino to 70-something million or Aaron, how much they pay that motherfucker, that Latin nigga?
I think it works out to like 27 mil a year, so basically almost 30 a year. It's like
he getting paid
70
like
million. 70 million.
70 million deal, man. What the hell are y'all doing?
3 years, 70 million. Hey, that's a lot for the A's, man.
Y'all don't ever pay anybody, and then the one time y'all overpay, y'all paying hella money for a dude that's not even like, he's so mid. It's ridiculous. That's like what he is. He was a top prospect. He's got talent, but he's a mid pitcher. He's a mid player, and he's one of those guys who can be really good as for spurts, and then also just really erratic and not very good, not effective. I'm just disappointed. A's, y'all just continue to do things disappoint y'all. Some of the most trifling ass motherfucking ownership group. I will not be doing anything to support the A's until they change ownership groups. If they're in another city, another state, I could still, care and think affectionately of them, or even maybe one day come back around to rooting for them in some capacity if they change ownership. Once that happens, it's, not a clean slate, but we can reset. But y'all doing some goofy shit, man. I'm tired of these goddamn A's owners, man. Fuck these fools and bastard ass mother lovers over here doing some foul ass shit, man. Pissing me off.
Yeah, somebody to help fill up them seats in Sacramento, man. Fill up them 40 seats.
Nigga, please. My other Cuddy Corner shout out goes out to Charlamagne the God. I like what you said about Drake. You went off on Drake being donkey of the day for being a sucker and doing everything, yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, then you're over here nitpicking and cooning out with Andrew Schultz. And I'm not saying Andrew Schultz is a bad guy, but I also don't think he has anything. I just don't think he's a very creative guy. I think he's a young male white splainer of uncultured perspective that is trying to act as though it is cultured or is okay with being acculturated, but they're not really. I just get that vibe from him. I don't know Andrew Schultz. I don't watch his stuff. Just the way he's just kind of cornbally. And I know you and him got a little show y'all do together, and I honestly think that it makes you look a lot worse being on that show with him because he's getting credibility off of you. No matter how much eyeliner and base foundation you put on your face to go on the Daily Show, it's not going to change the fact you still a nigga. And as much as I sometimes agree with you or don't always agree with you, just stop cooning with Andrew Schultz. You calling out a coon like Drake, I appreciate it. But don't. Why
do you say that, Jared?
Don't forget when you start cooning.
Mad makeup. I thought that I was like,
oh, that motherfucker was wearing a lot of makeup when he was on TV, bro. I was like, damn,
this motherfucker got more makeup on.
I'm like, man, Billy Porter took over the Daily Show.
Exactly. I'm like, this was more makeup than Joan Rivers ever put on.
Man, he looking like RuPaul, man. Yeah, he's a two complexions lighter, man. I was like, what is going on? And the eyeliner really made it pop, man. He over here looking like he was on set for The Mummy 4. You know what I'm saying? He over there standing in the background with loincloths protecting Emotep.
Come on.
Greasy on TV.
But I appreciate a lot of his insights, and I think he's usually astute on a lot of things he says. But Andrew Schultz, man, you got to let that brother go. Now, the one thing I responded to is Andrew Schultz trying to break down Kendrick Lamar for saying don't let white comedians talk about black women. Let Pedro talk about black women, but not white comedians. And they were getting all, semantical and talking shit about Kendrick. And I'm like, what they're doing is something that, for me, especially, there was one black on the panel and 3 not black dudes talking about it, trying to break down. The black dude was kind of sitting there chilling on the end. He didn't have much to add to it because I think he's like, y'all, like, if a black, like, anything sacred in black culture or black society, if they say something, like, just respect it. But that's not the nature of black culture in our society. It's never been. It's been to be profited off of. It has been an economic source for any and everyone that is not black as much as it is the people that are black. Actually, more so. So for them to be sitting there talking about something that Kendrick Lamar said, whether it was about Andrew Schultz or about, like in his artwork, he's sitting there trying to make jokes or trying to be all like, break it down. And I just thought it was kind of tasteless. I was like, Andrew Schultz, just like, if you're really creative, you're not going to sit here and try and get all semantical about it. It's not going to get semantical. You can make a joke about it and move on. Like, he can feel what he wants to feel. Same with your shitty art form of you supposed to be a comedian that just white explains, many, would you say, more liberal Anglo-Saxon views, but still very regimented in the conservative expressions of whiteness. Yeah, I don't need to hear you talk, man. You're not funny, and you wear the little Nazi mustache and haircut, bro. You rub me the wrong way. You look like you came from Argentina circa 1945, bro. Can you get out my face with that bullshit, bro?
What is the black girlfriend effect? This
you don't know about this.
Glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend. All of a sudden, he's got buzz cut, like clean shape up. Glows up, bro.
I like that. They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends, they
grow a beard
because
there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of. That's hilarious. I think the black girlfriend effect. It might be a protective instinct, bro.
I don't know, Pedro. I know you vehemently agree with what he said, but like, it wasn't like funny ass jokes, and he's laughing harder at his jokes than anybody else. And I'm just like, dude, like, you're not funny. Anyways, Charlamagne guys, stop cooning with that dude. Every time I see you sitting in the same room with that dude, you look like a sucker and you sound like a coon. And I'm not saying you are a coon, but you are a coon, because we all coons at some points. But you cooning out with some dudes that you really just, you more creative, more thoughtful, and you're more talented than that person. They need you more than you need them.
I ain't nobody's nigga.
I never knew who he was until you started pairing up with you. So if that's your boy, fine, that can be your boy. But that's your coon brother.
That's your boy. That's your boy. You both getting clapped.
Well, welcome to Smart Tech.
Hey, is this your boy?
Yeah, nigga, we will both mash you. What?
Hey,
what?
How can we
Where you at?
help you, sir?
No, he don't need no help. He's already been served. I served him. He's taken care of. He's a little slow, but he got it. See, what he thought was he could come up in here and make the rules, but now he see that Jay make the rules in Smart Tech, that I run this bitch, and now he about to bounce.
It's your boy?
Yeah, that's my boy, nigga. We rep the same Smart Tech.
You just got fucked up with me. Both y'all niggas gonna get clapped up when I get back. Both of y'all niggas. What did I do?
It's no fucking back.
in other news, in sports news, we're getting to sports pretty quick today, guys. In sports. Well, actually, let's stop. Let's get back to some news we talked about last week a little bit. Actually, I just want to ask you a question, Darius. Darius. How do you feel about Drake taking a legal action against Kendrick Lamar and UMG over "They Not Like Us" song?
I don't know. I think it's soft, but Drake does a lot of soft stuff, so it's pretty much on brand for Drake. I don't. Listen, man, when you get this high up, man, you're not really a rapper or a name or entity. And Drake, at this point, you got to look at him like Chevron, you know?
He hosted the ESPYs multiple times.
I don't know what that has to do with it. But anyway, I think at this point, like, Drake is like a real big entity of business. And so if you mess up the whole circle of business, man, they're going to come for your neck.
Do you think that's
the only way I could justify it? And yeah, I mean, rightfully so. He's not really a rapper. He's an entity.
Do you think this is good for hip hop and the culture?
Yeah, I think what Kendrick is doing to him is great. Like, but
the lawsuit. That's what, or the potential.
Well, it's not about hip hop when it comes to Drake. I mean, he is a rapper or he's an artist, but the truth is, like, that lawsuit was his big business entity going up against another business entity. It had nothing to do with like being a sore rapper loser. This is not rap. This is business.
Yeah. So has rap sold out completely?
I mean, are you just gonna keep answering the same dumbass questions? This don't really matter. In the world of rap, this ain't gonna change rap because this isn't rap. Like, these kids who are watching what's going down, they're not like, oh, this is a big rap battle of UMG versus Drake. They're looking at it like, oh, this is label versus another label. I mean, some people are taking it literal, like little, like basically little cokeheads like you. Like, they think that shit is funny and cute, but like a lot of people in this world, they don't care. They're like, whatever.
Well, it is concerning because the best thing that happened to rap this year, the biggest story in rap, was this battle that obviously Kendrick Lamar took over and dominated and won. But you had it controlled the story, and it started early in the year too. So you had all that. You had Cat Williams going off on everybody, and then you had Drake and Kendrick. And I thought it was good for rap. I thought it was good for hip hop, and it was spotlighting one of the better actual artists in hip hop, and really him laying the claim to be like that, setting a level for the game, right?
I don't know if you should be a good judge of what is good or not good for hip hop if your commercial is giving me shit like Masmuga or whatever that shit was. Like, that's your algorithm, nigga. Your algorithm is Mashuga Cannibal Corpse Tour and Carcass Tour.
What band is that? Is that Hot Sauce or metal band?
It is Hot Sauce. You know who Meshuggah is.
I just find it interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. But fuck Drake, I guess is what we can say to that.
I think the interesting thing is gonna be, so Kendrick has a concert coming up, and the concert
on Father's Day, right, in Toronto.
Yeah, he has a tour coming up, and he has a show in Toronto. I don't know if it's on Father's Day, but yes, it's in Toronto. And that's where you're gonna see like what Drake is really about. Like, if he like somehow gets Kendrick stopped or like somehow like banned from being there, or some like wild shit happens like that, then I'm like, okay, Drake's taking it too far. He's taking it there. He really wants to take it there. But if he lets Kendrick rock, and then the people of Toronto speak up for the situation, that's different. That's the people. So I hope the people don't show up. I hope they don't show up to his concert. I mean, not like I don't like Kendrick. I'm just saying, like, if y'all really about their life, don't show up to the Kendrick concert. Make Drake feel hella inadequate. Like, do all that gangster stuff. Don't sue nobody. That's stupid.
He'll be there on June 12th and 13th, right before the weekend of Father's Day. Actually, Father's Day weekend. We'll see. We'll see if the people in Toronto really are mad at him, because I don't think it was him calling out people in Toronto. It's them calling out Drake. And if anything, we got to be able to say, like, if somebody's trash or corny or just, whatever, they're successful.
Or high yellow Eddie Munster.
Yeah, or high yellow Eddie Munster.
If you
from
remember, man, like when that whole New Ho King fried rice stuff came out, New Ho King fried rice is in Toronto. That shit became wildly popular after that Kendrick song.
Yeah, he helped people out. People was like, shit.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. I think what we see in the lawsuit shit is business on business.
Yeah.
But what we're about to see at that concert is like what it's really about. So I'm curious on what it's really about, because I wasn't really clear, but we're gonna find out for sure.
Okay. All right. You heard it here first from Darius. Drake's a bitch. In other news,
I didn't really say that, but okay.
I was reading between the lines.
No. Look,
he's a successful entity. That's a bitch.
It's crazy that's what you read between the lines when I call you an actual bitch like every time I'm on this podcast, and you don't understand it. So
that's really Darius saying thank you in French to me.
Exactly. You're reading between the wrong lines.